What's up, folks? How's it going? This is Avijit here, and welcome to DevOps Challenge Hub. So let's start with today's interview question. And today's interview question is: how do you define cache behavior in CloudFront to optimize performance? So let's go to AWS console. Here, what I have done, I have created a CloudFront distribution using create distribution, and I have stored a couple of some files in S3 bucket. The S3 bucket is origin. And then when you create a distribution, I have mentioned that S3 bucket is the origin and created the distribution. So question is, how do you define cache behavior in CloudFront to optimize performance? So there are three things we need to take care, like TTL, time to live, cache policies, decide what to cache images, but for a vehicle, let's say. So what are the things you're going to cache, how long it's going to be stored, and cache keys, like parameters, headers, cookies, query string that CloudFront uses to uniquely identify the cache object. So what are the keys? What are the policies and time to leave? So if I go to this CloudFront distribution and go to behavior, and then here I can create a behavior or modify the existing one, edit it, or let's create a new behavior. So here I can specify the path. I don't want to maybe cache everything. I want to cache only images, let's say, or JavaScript or CSS. So that I can specify path pattern. Then origin, select an origin or origin group. And okay, so let's go to, like for example, a React application. So cache.js and CSS, we can cache it for 24 hours because this JavaScript file may not change immediately. And CSS file also, it can be cached for 24 hours. But API response only for 60 seconds because API data will be changing, it will change fast. And we have to use cache keys carefully. If we cache API results with query string, each query becomes a separate cache entry. So API like API result with if we cache with a query string, it will become each result will be a separate entity. So TTL, if you look at a TTL here, cache keys we can specify. Cache policy is also there. What to cache, what not to cache, and let's see what is there in advanced settings. Additional settings and legacy and cache settings. You have TTL, minimum TTL, maximum TTL, default TTL, headers, query string, cookies. These are the legacy caches setting, but recommended is this one. So this is for legacy purpose. It's kept legacy cache settings, cache policies and origin request policy. This is the recommended one. Okay, so this is not recommended legacy cache settings where header, query, strings, cookies, TTL. We need to use cache policies and origin request. Cache policies like what will be cached, what path, pattern, etc., and what will be forwarded to the origin, like backend. Like based on certain cookie, we are going to cache it, let's say. But for others, it will be going to origin. It will be going to the origin. It will be cached. Right. So because that's more clear, granular, and maintainable, and this legacy is little hard to maintain. So that's why we follow this one. And yeah, when DevOps pipeline, when deploying apps, pipeline script can update cache behavior automatically via Terraform and CloudFront. So all this behavior, CI/CD pipeline, they can update using Terraform or CloudFront. For example, after pushing a new front-end release, pipeline can trigger cache invalidation and update details so that user get fresh code but images remain cached. Okay. Now let's go to quiz section. Which of the following best describes a cache policy in CloudFront? You can pause the video and try to answer. Which of the following best describes a cache policy in CloudFront? Define how long CloudFront cache objects control by the header. Decides what to cache. Decides what to cache and what to forward to the origin. So that is the cache policy. What will you cache and what you are going to forward to the origin, what you are not going to cache. So cache policy tells CloudFront what to cache and what to forward. As for example, cache images but forward API. So cache images, because images are not going to change quite often, but API calls response may change often. Right? In some scenarios, it may not change often. So in that case, we can decide to cache also. In CloudFront, time to leave primarily controls which will be the how long this take as before. So answer is how long object take cast before revalidation. Detail defines how long object are cached. Like for HTML cache processing seconds, images 24 hours. You can define how long objects will be cached. What happens if you include query strings in the cache key for API caching? You can pause and try to answer. If you have query string in the query strings in the cache key for API caching. So that means for English query string only on the version, CloudFront has also cache. Each unique query string generates a separate cache entry. Each unique query string generates a separate cache entry. Right? To differentiate cache entries like ID equal to 1 and ID equal to 2 become separate cached objects. Because a response will be different. Like it's object 1 and this is the object 2. ID means ID 1, ID 2. Both are different. The response will be different. So it will be separate cache entries. So that's it for today. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, subscribe this YouTube channel, and also follow my LinkedIn page, Devops Challenge Hub. I post quiz contests daily. You can participate in that. And also follow WhatsApp communities. I post jobs and career tips, interview tips regularly. Thank you for watching this video. See you again in the next video.